If you think of the number 10, it can be written as 5 times 2. 5 and 2 are factors of 10. Just like we can find the factors of 10, we can find the factors of a quadratic expression. Here's an example, x squared plus 2x minus 15. We can find the factors of that. Just like the factors of 10 were 5 and 2, the factors of x squared plus 2x minus 15 are x minus 3 and x plus 5. If we multiply the factors together, we should end up with the original expression. You've done a lot of examples of expanding. Now we're going to look at factoring. So factoring is simply the opposite of expanding. If we expand the brackets, we end up with the standard form. And if we factor the standard form, we end up with the factored form. So the question is, how do we factor an expression? Well, I want you to notice this relationship. If we look at the numbers inside the brackets, -3 and +5, those multiply to -15. If we take the numbers in the brackets and add them together, -3 plus 5, we end up with +2. You need to keep this pattern in mind as we go to the next examples. The numbers in the brackets always multiply to the last number in the expression and add to the middle number. So let's look at example A. Here we have an expression x squared minus 8x plus 12. This is in the standard form. Let's factor it. In order to do that, we need to know two numbers that multiply to +12 and add to -8. A simple way to figure this out is to list all the numbers that multiply to +12. You could have 1 times 12, or you could have -1 times -12. You could have 2 times 6, or you could have -2 times -6. As you make your list of all the possible numbers that multiply to +12, try to keep track of which combinations add to -8. In this case, -2 and -6, when you add them together, you get -8. So to factor my original expression, I have my two numbers that multiply to +12 and add to -8. I can simply plug those into my brackets. And you can check to make sure your factors are correct by expanding the brackets. You should end up with the original expression. Let's look at example B. To factor this expression, we're going to do the same thing. We need to find two numbers that multiply to -15 and add to -2. So I'm going to list all the numbers that multiply to -15 and look for the ones that add to -2. So here's all the combinations. You could have 1 times -15 or -1 times 15. You could have 3 times -5 or you could have -3 times 5. But which combination adds to -2? Just 3 and -5. 3 times -5 is -15, and 3 minus 5 is -2. So those are the numbers I'm going to plug into my brackets. So my final answer is x minus 3 times x plus 5.